Japan just did what no one thought it would dare. It's turning a railgun test into a fleet. The same weapon that once fired a single experimental slug is now planned for deployment across a new generation of destroyers, each built to strike faster, farther, and cheaper than any missile system afloat. Across the sea, China's Navy has swelled past 370 warships, and its Type 050 destroyers now mount 100-kilowatt class lasers designed to cut through drones and blind sensors. Beijing calls it blue water dominance and sails through the Philippine Sea like it's already theirs. Tokyo's engineers have a different idea of power. They're building an integrated defense network. Railguns, hypersonic missiles, autonomous submarines, and satellite command links, a system designed to make the Pacific too dangerous for any aggressor to control. And the age of Japan's electromagnetic fleet is just beginning. The Railgun Navy. The program stopped being a lab demo the moment politicians moved from research to deployment. Japan's Ministry of Defense formalized the effort with a clear budget line and an operational goal. 7.4 billion yen, approximately $48.5 million, committed to electromagnetic weapon R&D and ship integration work through the mid-2020s. That bankroll transformed a land test bed into a fleet blueprint. Engineering accelerated quickly. Early rigs were 20 megajoules demonstrators. The shipboard goal is a 30 megajoule unit that fits below decks. A 30 megajoule slug reaches Mach 6+, enough kinetic energy to punch through light hulls or destroy missile seekers. Power is the hard constraint. At 15 to 25% efficiency, a 30 megajoule muzzle requires roughly 100 to 200 megajoules of stored electrical energy once conversion losses are counted, which means peak charging power in the tens of megawatts and multi-megawatt average power for repeated firing. Japan's industrial approach addresses that with three practical solutions: modular 20-foot ISO capacitor farms that store and swap charge at sea, hybrid ship powertrains pairing gas turbine generators with high-density lithium banks for burst output, and auxiliary high-output turbines/microturbines moving toward 10 to 50 megawatts of auxiliary capacity over the next few years. Practical firing rate targets are conservative. A realistic operational profile for early ship units is 1 to 6 rounds per minute, depending on cooling and recharge logistics. Sustained high rates would require proportionally larger capacitor banks and shipboard generation. Barrel life has been another focus. ATLA and partners have set testing goals in the low hundreds of shots, with 120 rounds often cited as a program benchmark for replaceable barrel liners. Japan's logistics model turns that into a supply chain. Modular barrels that can be swapped in port, and 20-foot capacitor modules reloaded by ASAV support ships or shore facilities. That logistics model drives the fleet plan. By 2030, Japan aims to field roughly 10 destroyers configured to accept railgun mounts or modular electromagnetic cells, alongside 6 upgraded Mogami-class frigates with EM defensive packages and 2 Aegis system-equipped vessels conceived as floating node centers. Each ASEV is a larger hull. Planning level estimates cluster around approximately 20,000 tons. Displacement and program cost in the $1.5 to $2.5 billion range, designed with surplus power generation and cooling, so they can host capacitor farms, recharging lines, and command AI. A railgun slug is inexpensive at scale. Current production estimates put around at roughly 5 million yen, approximately $35,000 each, materials and machining dependent. By comparison, modern interceptors or anti-ship missiles range from hundreds of thousands to several $1 million apiece. That price gap changes behavior. Attackers must expend far more capital to saturate defenses that can return low-cost kinetic intercepts by the dozen. Tactically, ships will not rely on a single shot. Railgun destroyers create layered denial zones. Railguns engage loitering munitions and incoming missiles in a 100 to 200 kilometer standoff layer when feed from distributed sensors is available. Closer in, lasers and CIEWS manage saturation. Railgun ships will operate in task groups, linked by satellite and local sensors so that firing solutions are distributed across a flotilla, not dependent on a single ship's radar. A likely task group composition is one ASEV as the central node, hosting capacitor farms and acting as a mobile recharger and command hub. Supported by 3 to 4 railgun-equipped destroyers and a mix of Mogami frigates and shore batteries. In such a configuration, an approaching strike wave would face a cascade of low-cost kinetic intercepts, forcing an attacker to either commit expensive missiles or accept severe attrition. Japan has already proved it can build them. Now it's scaling fast. And the railgun is only the first piece. The real game is what comes next. A defense web that links space, sea, and AI into one system. Hyper Defense Network, 2030. Japan's railgun may grab the headlines, but it's only one muscle in a far larger organism. Beneath the sea, across the sky, and deep into orbit, Tokyo is building something far more ambitious. It's called Hyper Defense Network 2030, an integrated web of sensors, weapons, and AI command. Every platform talks, reacts, and strikes as part of a single brain. And when it's complete, Japan won't just defend territory, it will control the battle space itself. Type 12, Hypersonic Upgrade Program. Japan's Type 12 missile began life as a modest anti-ship weapon. Now it's turning into a Mach 5 plus hypersonic cruise missile, built to chase fleets across oceans. The new variant stretches range from 200 kilometers to nearly 1,000 kilometers, adding a dual-pulse solid rocket motor, radar-absorbing coating, and stealth shaping modeled after the USLRASM. It carries a smart seeker able to lock onto moving warships through sea clutter and electronic jamming. By 2025, prototypes are firing from mobile launchers on Hokkaido and Kyushu. By 2027, mass production will arm destroyers and coastal batteries. Each missile links to the Quasi-Zenith Satellite System, QZSS, for mid-course guidance and swarm coordination with railgun ships or F-15J fighters. Tokyo has allocated 380 billion yen, $2.5 billion, to field over 1,000 launchers by 2030. Positioned from Okinawa through the Ryukyu chain, the warhead, about 250 kilograms of high-density explosive, hits with energy equivalent to a small bunker buster. Flight tests show terminal dive speeds exceeding Mach 5.5 at under 30 meters altitude. In wargame projections, a Type 12 network could saturate any Chinese task group approaching Taiwan or the Senkakus within 7 minutes of detection. A fleet once limited to defense now wields continental reach, built entirely in Japanese factories. AUV Ninja, Autonomous Submarine Program. Below the surface, Japan is building a fleet of autonomous undersea hunters called AUV Ninja, small, silent, and relentless. Each unit is about 10 meters long, under 10 tons, and dives past 1,000 meters using lithium-sulfur batteries that last 30 to 45 days. They cost only 800 million yen, $5 million each, less than a modern torpedo's budget line. Developed by Mitsubishi Heavy, Kawasaki, and ATLA, the drones carry interchangeable pods, active/passive sonar arrays, electronic intelligence sensors, or lightweight torpedoes. In 2024 sea trials off Kyushu, 2 prototypes tailed a simulated Chinese submarine through the Miyako Strait and transmitted real-time tracks to surface destroyers via acoustic modem and satellite relay. By 2030, Japan aims for a network of 100 AUVs patrolling between Okinawa and Ogasawara, each meshed into the QZSS command web. Working in packs, they can map seabeds, guard cables, and mark intruders long before a crewed sub arrives. Together, they form an autonomous picket line, a permanent barrier that never sleeps, costs a fraction of a manned fleet, and quietly turns Japan's island arcs into a digital minefield for any adversary venturing too close. Quasi-Zenith Satellite Constellation and AI Command Network. Above it all orbits Japan's QZSS, 4 satellites today, expanding to 7 by 2026. Providing centimeter-level precision and jam-resistant communications over the Indo-Pacific. The next-gen QZSS-2 units add infrared early warning sensors and cross-linked radar feeds, capable of spotting hypersonic vehicles or missile launches from over 3,000 kilometers away. All data flows into the AI Command Network, designed by NEC and Fujitsu, secured inside quantum-encrypted bunkers in Okinawa and Honshu. The network fuses every radar, sonar, and optical feed from Japan's forces into a single real-time picture of the battle space. During 2024 tests, a destroyer received QZSS targeting on a Mach hypersonic missile and fired its railgun within 10 seconds, entirely autonomous. Reaction speed once measured in minutes is now measured in code cycles. By 2030, QZSS will link with US Space Force constellations and Australian sensors, creating a tri-nation mesh. For Japan, it's not just navigation, it's spaceborne command and control. The nervous system of its electromagnetic fleet, ensuring no signal is lost and no threat goes unseen. Aegis System Adoption, BMD Shield 2.0. When land-based Aegis Ashore collapsed in 2020, Japan pivoted to sea power. The result? 2 Aegis system-equipped vessels, ASEVs, each over 20,000 tons, launching by 2027. These giants mount AN/SPY-7V1 radars co-produced with Mitsubishi Electric, powered by Aegis Baseline 9C software identical to US Burke-class destroyers. Each carries 128 vertical launch cells, stocked with SM-3 Block YIA interceptors and SM-6 multi-role missiles, forming the backbone of Japan's ballistic missile defense. The SPY-7 array tracks ICBMs and hypersonic glide bodies beyond 1,000 kilometers, feeding data straight into QZSS. In a 2024 simulation, an ASEV detected a mock Chinese DF-17 launch, passed telemetry to a railgun destroyer through satellite uplink, and coordinated a counterfire in under 6 seconds, faster than any manual command chain. Tokyo brands the system BMD Shield 2.0, a hybrid wall of sensors, plasma, and code stretching from seabed to space. With the ASEVs online, every approach vector to Japan, north, south, or east, will sit under continuous radar coverage and instant interception capability. It's not just missile defense, it's strategic immunity built entirely in Japanese shipyards, railguns that punch holes in physics, hypersonics that rewrite flight, and subs so silent they could ghost your ex. Japan isn't waiting for the future, it's test firing it. And if you want to see Japan turn the Pacific into a live fire demo while Beijing's still rehearsing the parade, hit subscribe, drop a like, and stay tuned. The next war just went electric,